This video is coming from a comment about hitting the ball too high with an iron using the sternum further back. Now on some of my other videos I talk about using the sternum to get access into the golf ball and to create different patterns in the ball flight. In a nutshell, if my sternum's over here I can hit down and across the ball very easily. If my sternum is further back I can swing into out much more easily. Now what I think is happening here is that a chap's done the sternum back and then we're getting more height on the golf shot. So this is a little way to iron that out with your irons and your wedges especially. And if we imagine where you can release the club, if I can release the club here and here and here, I get a consistent release. If my body is tilted further back, I'm going to release higher. So I'm going to hit the ball higher from that lean in the spine. If I'm trying to get the sternum back, if I turn, I don't get that release going higher, I get that going lower again. It could be that this chap is leaning back to try and get the sternum to work and then going bang. So what we really want to do is work round to then swing the golf club, especially with the irons and wedges. So I'm almost using my sternum to dictate where I can release the club to. Again, if I lean back here and I go, okay, I'm going to release there, I'm going to hit the ball higher. So if I hit one like that, where I get my sternum back, but I have a little bit of lean to it, I have a little bit of tilt to it, I've then got into out, but I've got a high flying shot. So if I really do then turn round to get down instead of tilting to get down, I'm going to get that release working much lower. I'm going to get that low flight with a draw coming in. So to expand that idea, if we want to release that club freely, we could present ourselves to the golf ball facing a bit more down, so we can release down. We can present ourselves to the golf ball this way, so I can release up, and that's going to affect the height of the shot, because where you release the club influences the height on the shot as well as the direction. So if I'm hitting a high draw, if I put the club further back with the face going to the right, I then want my sternum to the right of that club. That's going to help me release upwards and get more height on the shot. So I get that going there and I get that nice high draw coming in because of my initial setup with the tilt. But side note, I generally don't like too much tilt in the spine because it just curves your lower back and it puts a bit of pressure on your lower back that long term isn't good for most golfers. So I will exaggerate this here. I'm going to put the grip forward with the club face pointing to the right, and then I'm going to get my sternum to the right hand side of the ball. The ball is much further back. My shoulders are much more downwards here at address as opposed to being sternum back and shoulders up, which then helps me release down there to get that ball launching much lower with the same output or the same shape. So that's where we can use the sternum placement as well as how much up and down we lean. So if I want to hit a low fade, I'm going to get across here, I'm going to point down. If I want to hit a high fade, I'm going to point upwards with my chest to the left. If I get my sternum to the right hand side, I've got a high draw and I've got a low draw. Have a little play around with that.